You're diving deeper into your retirement planning process. And now you're at the point where you're asking yourself, what are the retirement income sources I am likely to receive in retirement? On today's video, I'm going to tell you the 5 retirement income sources that you are likely to have in retirement. And this is part 5 of a 7-part series entitled What You Should Know About Retirement Planning. So stick around, that's coming up next. Welcome back, money bosses, and if you're new, hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Health and Wealth Chica. I'm Jeremy, an accredited financial counselor of 10 years, and I've taught thousands of clients the same money tips, resources, and strategies that I will teach you here on this channel. So subscribe today if you want to learn how to overcome financial challenges and optimize financial opportunities, get motivated to do the things you've been putting off, and gain the confidence to put powerful and proven money strategies to work for you. Because I will teach you how to manage your money like a boss to live your best life. There's no one-stop shop online where you can go and get all of your retirement planning questions answered. I know, I scoured the internet, I've Googled, and it's really difficult, even for me as an accredited financial counselor, to piecemeal together all this information on different websites, different resources. And so that's why I decided to create this retirement planning series specifically for you in mind. And it is entitled What You Should Know About Retirement Planning. Now, today is episode 5, so I'll make sure to link the other episodes at the end of the video and also in the descriptions of the video for your convenience, so you can get caught up and not miss out on any of the information you're going to need for your retirement planning. I break it down over the 7 episodes so that you can know what kinds of things to begin considering, what types of questions you should begin to answer. I show you the tools and calculators online, which are free, that you can begin using to get you closer to answering those questions. And not only do I tell you the steps, I show you in a lot of cases in mini tutorials. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to turn over to my screen and show you the 5 main retirement income sources that you might have during your retirement. But before I get into that, I want to let you know that if you stick around to the end, I will tell you what the highest amount of Social Security benefit is paying as of the making of this video, and it might shock you. Real quick, a recap from the last episode. You began to learn how to put together your retirement budget. Now, if you're currently not doing any kind of budgeting, which simply a budget is a tool where you can track your income and expenses, but that is going to be a critical tool for you to use to be able to organize your finances now, but also for retirement. So if you're not using anything currently, I encourage you to go to my website, which is healthandwealthchica.com, and download a copy of my free spending plan, which is just like an upgraded version of what a budget is, because you build into it your savings goals. And I will also make sure to link that in the bottom of the description for your convenience as well. You can't possibly put together your retirement budget without knowing what the typical retirement income sources are for retirees. Like, where are they getting their income from to live off during their retirement years? Okay, here we are, retirement income sources. As I mentioned, these are 5 that you are likely to have in retirement. And so you'll notice here that 2 of those are under employer-sponsored plans. You have the defined contribution plans and you have the defined benefit plans. Sound very similar, very different. I'll come back to it. Then you have your individual retirement accounts, because there are some employers that will not offer their employees any type of a retirement plan at work. Therefore, you on your own can set up these accounts, and you don't have to depend on an employer to do that for you. And Social Security, of course, and then I've lumped these into the other category. So coming back to the employer-sponsored plans, specifically defined benefit plans. So these plans are based on your salary and the number of years you worked for that employer. There's going to be a minimum amount of years you should work at your employer before you become eligible for this type of a benefit plan. Now, many employers are moving away from the defined benefit plans, and they're moving towards defined contribution plans because employers are finding out that they simply can't afford to offer these plans to their employees like our parents and grandparents' employers used to offer, because we're living longer and it's just getting too expensive. So there are few employers out there that still will offer them that I'm aware of, which are going to be like your government agencies, the federal government employees get this, the uniformed services personnel. So our military members will get this if they serve at least a minimum of 20 years. And but again, this is becoming extinct. Okay, so if you have this offered to you at work, consider yourself one of the lucky ones. And so defined contribution plans, they're going to be like your thrift savings plan, your 401ks, 403bs, and these are going to be accounts that you can contribute to, your employer can contribute to, or the both of you can contribute to. And so I feel like these are ones that you can be more in control over, because you get to determine how much you're going to be contributing to these plans. Whereas with a defined benefit plan, when it's based off of your salary and it's a calculation of your salary, different employers have a different calculation for it, but it's based off of number of years of employment. Sometimes you cannot control how long you work for an employer, right? No matter how much you may want to stick with an employer, you might not be able to, and therefore you might not have qualified for their defined benefit plan. Whereas with the defined contribution plan, if it's offered to you by your employer, you can control how much you are contributing. The most common match that employers are making into their defined contribution plans for their employees is 50 cents to the dollar up to 5% of the salary. So an example is, pretend you make $100,000, 5% of that is $5,000. So if you were to contribute $5,000 into your employer sponsored retirement plan at work, then your employer would match you and contribute to your 401k or 403b, whatever you have at work, $2,500, because it would be 50 cents to the dollar up to 5%. And in this case, 5% would be $5,000, and 50 cents to every dollar of that would be $2,500. So if you have this plan offered to you at work, and especially if you have matching offered, you should try your best to optimize that plan and contribute up to the maximum at least. Now you can contribute over the maximum of the matching, and each year the IRS code that governs these workplace retirement plans will set the annual elective deferral limit, and for this year that would be $19,500. So keep in mind that anything above your employer's match would not be matched, but these are still tax advantaged accounts, meaning that you have a way of growing money where you have a tax advantage over accounts that you might set up elsewhere that won't have these tax privileges. And so, like I mentioned earlier, you can set up an individual retirement account on your own if you don't have a workplace plan offered to you. Now, you can also open up an IRA on your own, even if your employer offers these plans to you, because you might want to contribute more than the maximum amount allowable in that year for your 401k, for example. And so that would be a smart move, is to open up an IRA and continue to save for your retirement in another tax advantaged account. So you have the pre-tax option, which we call traditional, and you have the post-tax option, which we call Roth. Many employers are now offering these types of tax options over here with their contribution plans. So I know for sure with the Thrift Savings Plan account, you can have the option of choosing a traditional TSP, a Roth TSP, or you can do both if you'd like. And so then and by the way, the annual limit that you can contribute to an IRA as of the recording of this video is $6,000 per year. So you can put a lot more away into your workplace retirement accounts than you can with your individual retirement accounts. And a common question I get is, can I max out both accounts? And yes, you can. You can max out your contribution plan at work, like your 401k, and then you can set up your individual retirement account with a financial institution like a brokerage, and you can also max that out for $6,000. If you're 50 or older, the IRS will give you what's called a catch-up contribution, so you'll have an additional amount of money that you can put away into that retirement account as well. So Social Security, it was only ever designed to provide a third of your retirement income, and that is going to be the most, I would say, common retirement income source that most everybody will have. 90% of 65-year-olds today are receiving this benefit. And so what they have found out, many of them who have to fall into this other category of retirement income source, and they have to continue to earn income because perhaps they didn't optimize these other plans offered to them at work and set up their own individual accounts, and that Social Security check is only covering about a third of their income. Therefore, many retirees are still earning income, and that is a part-time job, and that brings in approximately about $22,000 per year currently for retirees, which is the greatest retirement income source out of all of these, is retirees continuing to work. Now, some continue to work just because they want to remain active and continue contributing. However, most are just continuing to work because they have to. They didn't do the planning over here as well as they should have. And then there are other types of retirement income sources you might have. You might have set up some other individual savings, especially when you get closer to retirement. You might get a little more conservative in your retirement saving and investing. So you could have set up some certificates of deposit and other things like that. You might have set up some other investments like ETFs and mutual funds, which don't have the tax advantages that these retirement plans do here and here, which is why in the order of priority, you would want to start with your workplace retirement plan and take advantage of any matching contributions so that you don't leave any free money on the table. And then if you still have money left over to continue to save for your retirement, then you would come to an IRA. However, there are people that just like to put most of their money into their IRAs and just capture the matching contributions of whatever their employer is offering, and not necessarily max out their workplace retirement plans before they open up an IRA. And that's simply because the Roth IRA in particular is very flexible,
in as far as their withdrawing rules, and I won't get into that. But there is just a general overview of what your retirement income sources could be. So I'll meet you right back for my final thoughts and work.
Knowing the likely retirement income sources that you might have will help you today to be able to better optimize those plans or accounts, whether they're offered to you at your workplace or accounts that you may be able to set up on your own, so that you can begin contributing and optimizing those accounts and plans today so that you can live off of that money in your retirement. On the next episode, I will show you a calculator that you can use to begin to see exactly how much money you are projected to have in 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, or however many years away you are from needing that money. Based on what you're currently contributing to your 401ks, your 403bs, your TSPs, your IRAs, etc. Because one thing is knowing, okay, I need to put away 10 to 15% into my retirement plans and accounts each month. But the next thing is to see how much is that going to grow and compound over the years. And then eventually we'll get to see how much will that last during those retirement years. So we've got a little ways to go. This is still just episode 5. We've got 2 more episodes. I might even throw a bonus in there. So I thank you for sticking to the end. And in case you were wondering, what is the highest amount that you can make from your retired Social Security benefit as of the recording of this video? Take a guess in your head first, then I'll tell the answer. It is $3,011 per month. Did that surprise you? Was that shocking? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, health and wealth be with you.